What's good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the finale of What If Naruto at solo leveling. If you haven't done so already in all the previous parts, make sure you slap that like button so more people can see this, and make sure you tune in for the full movie version of this, seeing as it's probably going to drop in like a couple weeks or something like that. But with no further ado, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy.
Hey Ross, sauce it up.
We pick up part 3 with Naruto looking around groggily, realizing that Lee, Sasuke, and even Sakura are all facing off against the Sound 3 Genin, right? And he lifts his head up only to see everything, groggily saying, "What the?" as he looks around and realizes that his team is in danger. Naruto, without a second thought, would use one of his healing potions as he would restore his stamina back up to 100. And because of that, he would be able to blitz in there and immediately grab one of the men by the arms, right? This time, Sasuke never ended up getting the curse mark, so he doesn't go apeshit crazy, and he's not able to absolutely body the same Sound Genin like in the original. Instead, that scene is replaced with Naruto doing the same thing that Sasuke would have done in canon. Naruto would look at him before asking him if he likes these arms of his, right? And the man would say, "Wait, what are you doing? Get off me, please. We'll leave. But Naruto says, "Nah." And he just snaps bro's arms. As from here, they would proceed to run away, and Naruto would turn towards Rock Lee before saying thanks for the help. Rock Lee would question Naruto why he had to take it that far, and Naruto would say that they ambushed him. Breaking his arms was the least he could have done in that encounter. And Rock Lee ultimately would say that he can't wait to fight them both in the Chunin exams, having mixed opinions on Naruto, seeing as he kind of just watched him go a little bit crazy, but ultimately he realizes that it is a battle and he can't exactly be taking it easy on his enemies. So what would end up happening after this? Oh, y'all, I'm not even gonna play with y'all. I want to go play basketball so bad right now. Usually I record these videos late at night, probably 11, 12, 1 a.m. But right now I want to play basketball so bad, and I know that if I go hoop right now, I'm going to come home super tired and won't be able to hoop. So I'm going to record this video, finish the series, and then go hoop. So y'all wish me luck in the comments, and let me know how many points y'all want me to drop for y'all. One of these days I might drop some sort of basketball thingy-majigger. It'll be super corny and cringy, but hopefully you guys like it. Anyways though, continuing forward with the story, what if Naruto at solo leveling? Okay, so they make their way towards the tower, and once that would happen here, well, what should happen? Oh yeah, right. After that would happen, they would pretty much end up taking preliminary battles, which of course go down just like in canon. Sasuke's battle would pretty much just be a lot easier than it was in canon. Naruto this time would still be getting very much so offended by Neji's need of taking it as far as he did, and he would tell Neji that in the finals, he's not going to be taking easy on him, right? So Neji ultimately would walk away scoffing, and Naruto would ultimately end up destroying, and I genuinely mean it when I say this, y'all. Naruto quite literally would break Kiba. It's super sad, but Kiba stands absolutely no chance against a Naruto with solo leveling powers. I mean, Naruto's stats are just dwarfing Kiba's in every sense of the word. So for the following month, Naruto would end up training by himself until eventually, about 1 week into it, Jiraiya, the legendary Toad Sage, would arrive and make his presence known, wanting to become some super cool old guy who trains Naruto and would be like, "Wait, I know how all these abilities, yada yada yada," trying to impress Naruto. But Naruto isn't really impressed by this guy, and ultimately Jiraiya just weirds him out. Jiraiya goes on to say that he has a jutsu that he can teach him that he probably doesn't know. And Naruto says, "Trust me, old man. There's not a single jutsu you could teach me that I don't already know." As Jiraiya says, "How about this one?" pulling out the Rasengan, and Naruto would hold one hand out before performing it as well, ultimately shocking Jiraiya and leading him to ask where he learned that. Naruto would smirk and say he stole the scroll of sealing. and Jiraiya would ask how in the world that happened. Their security must have been down. Naruto said he did that before he even graduated the academy, that it was nothing. And from here, he would proceed to grab a kunai as he would tell Jiraiya to catch it, right? Tossing it at him, and Jiraiya would catch it midair as Naruto would appear in front of him, smirking, and Jiraiya would just be absolutely stunned. Jiraiya would ask Naruto if he has a summoning contract yet, and Naruto says he doesn't, but as from what he's heard, he's the Toad Sage, and that's the last thing Naruto wants. Naruto doesn't want to have some toads as a summoning contract. That sounds lame, no offense. And Jiraiya would just be like, as Naruto just looks at him and says he doesn't need a summoning anyways. He can probably summon some things later on with these cool abilities of him. And speak of the, I don't want to say that word. Speak of the topic, right? Speak of the topic, because we don't use that terrible name on this channel. But because we don't do that, speak of the topic, Naruto would proceed to pretty much just get on his main menu, new power unlocked. And Naruto would be like, all right, what's going on? Like, what is this? And he reads, and it says, necromancer. And Naruto's like, what's that? As from here, he realizes that the ability that he just gained access to actually was beautiful. I mean, it gives him the ability to reanimate the dead, something that he was already going to be capable of doing with the reanimation jutsu. However, this time, he's going to be able to have full control over them, and he's going to be able to do it to whoever and whomever he pleases, right? So it's a more OP version of that, and Naruto would be very, very happy with that, thinking to himself that he could probably just desecrate a bunch of hidden leaf shinobi graves and he'll be set with that. So for the following next week, Naruto would go around digging graves in the dead of night and pretty much just taking the bodies of people like Sakumo Hatake, Minato Kushina. I mean, we're talking like dead legendary shinobis of the hidden leaf. Like, we're talking Hashirama's body, you know what I mean? Like Tobirama, like bro reanimates like top tier shinobis, you know what I mean? And this is just Naruto just discovering new things about himself every other day. Naruto would also end up adding his gigantification style to his fighting combat versatility due to the fact that he now has access to that. And eventually, once we get to the battle against Neji, Naruto would shock everybody by using a necromancer like ability, and Minato would step in front of Neji as Neji would be shocked, like what? Bro, everybody in the stands would be shocked. Hiruzen would stand up. Orochimaru would be shaking in fear. He's like, what? Like, I have his, how? You know, like I reanimated Minato. Like, how is this possible? You know what I mean? But ultimately, Naruto would proceed to simply using the body of the fourth, throws a kunai, and would one-tap Neji with a Rasengan, causing Neji to be completely shocked and everybody in the stands to freak out over what just happened. Sasuke would finally return back to the village, having his Sharingan be to the same level that it was in canon after having unlocked it during the battle in the forest against Orochimaru. And, or actually, not against Orochimaru. Let's say against the Sound 3, right? That's where he awakened it, and ultimately, okay, he awakened it, and then he fights against Gaara. Oh yeah, he fights against Gaara, and Gaara runs away, right? Just like in canon, everything could not be going any smoother. Now, Naruto, realizing that Sasuke's probably going to be in danger, would decide to summon another thing with his necromancer-like abilities. He summons the great old Tobirama. Tobirama sends you, bro. And Minato would both come out of the grave, and they proceed to just body Gaara. Like, they're there for precaution, but ultimately once Sasuke does lose, like everybody knew he was going to, the necromanced new characters that we just added would go in and absolutely destroy. I'm like, guys, like, seriously, they would body the Jinchuriki. It's just not even funny. And Naruto would actually have made his way towards Hiruzen, noticing the commotion up there, realizing that Orochimaru must not be dead. So once he makes his way there and he sees Orochimaru, Naruto would question Orochimaru what he's doing back in the village, asking him how he's alive considering the fact that Naruto, from what he remembers, he killed him. Orochimaru would say that that's none of his concern, but that he never dies. And Naruto would say, well, sorry to burst your bubble, buddy, but you're about to die today. As from here, Naruto would proceed to double jump into the air and form a bunch of hand signs before using a water dragon jutsu out of thin air, bro. He creates a water dragon from thin air. Orochimaru would be shocked, like being like, how? Like nobody can muster up that much water from thin air, you know, like all crazy and stuff. And Naruto would simply look at him, smirk, as Orochimaru would have to dodge by using an earth style attack. From here, Hiruzen would end up extending his monkey staff Enma, and they would both tag team Orochimaru, not giving him a single chance to even try to use the reanimation jutsu on Hiruzen or Tobirama. However, the one on Tobirama wouldn't have worked because his soul is already down in the Naruto world already, and Naruto's taking control of him. Plus, the Minato one wouldn't have worked either. And the only one that would have worked if he really tried would have been the Hashirama one. But that wouldn't have really done anything, considering that we saw even Hiruzen himself take Hashirama out. Now, just to preface this, Naruto's reanimations are not half as weak as the one that Orochimaru summoned. They're like at 50% power. So they're still very, very like dominant, I guess you would say is the word. But ultimately, Naruto and Hiruzen would end up bodying Orochimaru, and because Hiruzen's still alive after this, he would decide that ultimately he's too old for this stuff. He's tired of becoming Hokage, and ultimately he wants to find his replacement. He talks it over with Jiraiya, and honestly guys, I'm going to say that Jiraiya ends up accepting this time. Now, Jiraiya ends up accepting this time because Hiruzen just doesn't let him say no, right? He's just like, Jiraiya, I'm not asking you. You've been living your life as a child this entire time, and that's done. Jiraiya, you need to finally assume responsibility in your life. You can't just go around peeping on women. You are becoming the next Hokage, and that's final, Jiraiya. And Jiraiya would just have to accept it, becoming the next Kage, and ultimately disliking it until Naruto tells him about the shadow clone technique. Jiraiya does this, and from here, what would end up going down is that we would end up having just the 3 years go by. Now, obviously, Itachi and Kisame end up crashing the village. However, just because Naruto is in the village, I don't think would be any reason for the attack between between the Jonin and Itachi and Kisame to change. Ultimately, because we know now in the future that they were really only there to look up on Sasuke, and Itachi doesn't really want to capture Naruto, I'm gonna say that they still end up leaving after that small little battle and like inconsistency would happen. And then after that, what would pretty much go down is that they would end up just returning back to the Akatsuki. 3 years would pass. Sasuke still this time would remain in the village because there is no like sound 4 to like pretty much drag him back towards Orochimaru. And instead of Sasuke training and doing all that crazy stuff that he does, he would reach the same ultimate amount of power in the same amount of time via training with Kakashi, Naruto, and other people that would be there in the village. One downside, however, would be that Sakura doesn't get her monster strength, and she never finds out how to be quite the healer that she becomes in the future. Now, normally I'd be like, oh no, this is terrible, but honestly, Sakura was really only useful when it comes to taking out Sasori, and seeing as this version of Naruto now had 3 years, bro, he had 3 years, not 1, but 3 years to get XP points. Like, really stop and think about how many points Naruto could have amassed during 3 years. During 1 year, I would give him like 40. So, just to be generous, split the difference. I'm going to be giving him 75 XP points. Yep, I said it. Actually, nah, bro. Nah, not even. 85 XP points. Yep. And you know what the first thing he's going to throw 20 into? He's going to throw 20 into his speed, making that a 60. He's going to throw 20 into his strength, making that a 51. He's going to throw 10 into his intelligence, making that 46. So we already basically used 50 of the 35 points that now remain, right? So let me chop that down before I end up making a mistake. And he now has 35 points to just casually drop on his durability, which he is going to do. 55. Which means he has 20 more points to throw into his agility, which makes that a 56. And let's go over his newly found OP stats. Speed, 63. Strength, 51. Intelligence, 46. Agility, 56. Stamina and durability, 55. Oh, and did I mention that Naruto's body also improved? So not only did his stats improve because of his XP, but Naruto also improved his body through natural means. So his speed is really a 69, his strength is really a 58, his intelligence is really a 51, his agility is actually a 62, and his stamina and durability after years of training is actually not a 55, but a 69. Cause noise. But yeah, that ends up going down, and Naruto would have even ended up gaining more special abilities. Not only does he have double jump, or the ability to rewind his body, or gigantification, or necromancer, but he's a weapon master because like he's like a weapon summoner, right? And he also has the ability to what's it called? To swap places with things. A swap. Like literally he could just swap places with things, just like Sasuke's Rinnegan. However, its range is limited to about 5 miles with a 5-mile range, you know, which, you know, that's not pretty bad. So Naruto's overall stats are pretty busted, if I do say so myself. Matter of fact, y'all, this just doesn't feel OP enough. You know how I said he got 85 points? Scratch that. We're going to add even more points to that. His speed is a 79. His strength is a 68. His intelligence, a 61. His agility, a 72. His durability, a 79. So I added 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. I added 50 more points on top of 85, which is what should actually be the real power that he ended up getting over 3 years, I think. Stats like 79, 68, 61, 72, 79 with incredible abilities, plus chakra, plus his taijutsu that he would have ended up, of course, learning during this time. And jutsus like flying Raijin, jutsus like the Rasengan, jutsus like just OP broken jutsus would lead Naruto to be already being a top tier shinobi in the Naruto world, right? So Naruto's already busted and broken beyond all forms of belief. So once we would finally get to the portion in time where the Sand Village would be like, we need help, like our Kazekage has been taken, Naruto would just be like, oh, so the Akatsuki are finally acting up? And you know what I mean? Like, Jiraiya would be all like, yeah, like from the information I gathered from them during the couple years that I was around, you know, they've been secretly moving throughout the shadows. And Naruto says that he actually picked up some of the slack during that time, and he has a good general amount of information on them. Naruto says that he's gonna take care of this problem, and after that he's going straight for the head of the snake. Jiraiya advises against this, but Naruto ultimately says that he doesn't care and that it's about time that the Akatsuki were finally put in their place. So Jiraiya ultimately would have to just sit back and watch as Naruto in a solo dolo mission would just tell Jiraiya to just send him. And Naruto, using his swap ability, would just look 5 miles ahead, swap, 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 until finally he gets to the village hidden in the sand, right? And once he's there, he realizes that Kankuro is about to die. Like, he's like, okay, you know, this is not good. So what does Naruto do? He whips out a potion and bam, Kankuro's healed. Kankuro is just straight healed, just like that. And Naruto asks, you know, what happened? Kankuro says that he got poisoned, and Naruto says, oh, okay, so now I have to look out for poison, and what else? And Kankuro's like, they had an explosion, kind of like Genkai. And Naruto would say, all right, perfect. As he would continue making his way there and just swap, 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 until finally he ended up arriving to the base where the Akatsuki members were at. And keep in mind, Gaara still hasn't died because they only extracted about 50% of the tailed beasts. So Naruto would shatter the rock and he would then walk inside, as Deidara and Sasori would look at him and ask him if he has some sort of death wish. What's he doing disturbing Akatsuki matters? And Naruto says that, you know, he's just here chilling. As from here, Naruto says, take care of them. And it would be at this moment that Orochimaru, bro, he reanimated Orochimaru. Let that sink in. Orochimaru, Hiruzen, because Hiruzen would have died during this time. Old age, you know, old age. Minato, Tobirama, Hashirama, the White Fang. What are some other OP ninjas that died through time? Like the Kinkaku and Ginkaku brothers, because why not? And just a bunch of fodder shinobi. Naruto would have all of them like come up from the ground, and they would all have this like red aura around them, as Deidara would wonder what in the world this is, asking if it's some sort of genjutsu, shooting an explosion and trying to break out of it using his special eye, but ultimately that wouldn't work, and he would realize that this is the real thing. Naruto from here would proceed to smirk as all of these reanimated bodies would rush in and obliterate, and I mean obliterate Sasori and Deidara. They both die instantly. And Naruto from here, before Deidara could breathe his last breath, would ask him where the leader of the Akatsuki's at, and he would just utter, "The village in the rain." So Naruto would just literally grab Gaara, throw him a potion of healing, and would tell him to make his way back to the village and say Naruto sent you, as he has bigger fish to fry. And Gaara would thank Naruto, as from here he would make his way back towards his village, and Naruto would embark on his way towards the village hidden in the rain. Before arriving, Naruto would have one thought to himself. These are the henchmen, and Naruto had an easy time, but what if this other guy, you know, the boss, is a whole lot stronger than Naruto's anticipating? There is one dungeon that Naruto still hasn't quite explored that does offer 10 XP, which is a lot when it comes to like how far Naruto has made it in during his journey this entire time. And Naruto thinks to himself that it would probably be in his best interest to do it before he takes on Obito. So he would do so, and he would end up gaining 10 XP points, which he would ultimately just throw into his strength category, just in case, pushing that to a solid 78. Now Naruto's speed and strength are both basically even, and Naruto now feels a lot more comfortable to just barge on the leader of the Akatsuki and ultimately berate him with attack after attack after attack. So what Naruto would do is pretty much just make his way there. Once he would arrive, he would end up finally snooping around and eventually using a large level jutsu to blow a massive chunk in the hidden rain village, ultimately leading to Konan and Nagato to realize his presence and make their way there, trying to have a full all-out battle, as Naruto would stare at all of the 6 paths of pain, and he would say simply underneath his breath, "So y'all like jumping, huh?" He would say, "I'm cool with that," as immediately just a bunch of like undead people would come out, and Naruto would summon this like gigantic 2-sided blade that just like, it just looks menacing. And he would put it over his shoulder, as he would say, "Let's dance." And from here he would blitz over towards the direction of all of the paths of pain alongside his summonings, and using the flying Raijin, using his double jump, using his gigantification to enlarge his fists and crush some paths, using his like weapon summoner ability to give each of them legendary like weapons, and using a swap ability to swap places with Hashirama and lead him to like shoot gigantic like earth like wood style like beams of like wood at him. They would get obliterated, and Konan would be the only one left in fear, just trembling at the thought of having to face off against somebody as broken as Naruto. Naruto would look at her and say that, "Oh, give her one chance to breathe. Where's the real one?" And she would say ultimately she's not going to say a thing. So Naruto would decide that, okay, you're not going to talk? Fine. And he kills her. That's it, just plain and simple. He gets rid of her. He gets rid of the problem at its base. And from here, Naruto has like no real way of finding Nagato. So what does Naruto do? He pretty much just creates a ton of clones, like thousands of clones, and with his necromancer like bots, would proceed to send them out to look for Nagato manually, as one of them would finally find him, and Naruto would make his way there, making his presence known as he disperses all the clones, and Naruto faces face to face with the leader of the Akatsuki. Or so he would think. Naruto would have a conversation with Nagato, and ultimately Obito, Nagato would end up kind of getting to Naruto a bit, with his talk about how it's not fair that they get their revenge but he doesn't, you know what I mean? And Naruto says that it might not be fair, but that's life for him. Unfair. As he was just about to obliterate Nagato, when suddenly a man in an orange mask would arrive and would begin laughing and acting like a complete goofball, and Naruto would ask him what he thinks he's doing here, Obito saying that he's here to take him down. he's become a nuisance and he needs to be taken down immediately. And Obito would immediately react, going on to pretty much like go through Naruto's body and would be just about to like stab him in the chest with like this like poison laced kunai like crazy attack, right? But Naruto would use swap, and he would be the one who would actually slam a Chidori straight into the heart of Obito, causing Obito to cough out blood and stare right back at Naruto, as he would summon them both to his Kamui dimension. And Naruto would say that this place is neat, as you know, Obito would begin like asking what he thinks he's doing, like why is he stopping his plans. He would then unveil his plan of the infinite Tsukiyomi and say that all he wanted to do was make a perfect world. And Naruto says that a world where nobody has control of what they do is everything but perfect. Listen to how that sounds, bro. He's sick in the head. Obito would pretty much like try to like say his own like 2 cents thing to that, but Naruto ultimately would just turn back towards Obito and bam, just rip his head from his body, cleanly just destroying Obito and telling him that he had no place in this world. He was far too gone. And Naruto from here turns back towards the direction of Obito before saying that hopefully they can meet in the next life or something like that. But Naruto just walks away and says ciao, as from here he leaves back towards the village, and the fourth Great Shinobi World War is prevented. Naruto having solo leveling means that his power level just gets to like 9,000, while everybody else in the Naruto verse is like at 5,000, 6,000 at even the highest. So it's just really not a challenge for Naruto, and he's able to just walk through life for the rest of the story as if nothing's going down. And that pretty much ends up marking the finale to What If Naruto had solo leveling. Pretty soon I'm probably going to be dropping a Demon Slayer What If, so definitely be on the lookout for that. And make sure to watch my brand new What If Xehther was in Boku no Hero Academia, as well as the Demon Slayer one, since they're both phenomenal videos. And with that all out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, I love each and every single one of you guys, and remember, God loves you too. Peace.